So Ball Guy Show starts right now. Hope you enjoy the show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. What's up, everybody? Welcome to season 2, episode 12 with my beautiful wife. First episode she's on this season. Welcome, my love.
Thank you.
Besito.
Mwah.
Don't be jealous, guys. Well, for this episode, I want to introduce. Nobody else is gonna be on the guest, but I want to introduce Dent Mechanic Group. We're entering here in DFW, here in the Texas area. We're entering the season of hailstorm. So check out the flyer. He's a great guy. He's they're the Dent Mechanic Group. Locally owned and operated, family owned, deductible waived. So so don't go through him, and he'll handle everything. He'll handle everything with the insurance, everything. Okay, if you windshield has been struck by hail or hailstorm, you want to contact him.
Wow,
great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, I mean, we've been doing this already. This is our second season.
Yep.
Second season. I say we, kind of mostly me, but you're the genius behind this. You're the one that gives me inspiration for, and you're the one that helps out with the promos, the pictures, and all that stuff. That's something you even have to edit. And you're the one behind that. She's the brains. I'm not. So. We just celebrated Mother's Day two weeks ago.
We did.
We were supposed to record last week. This was supposed to have happened last week, but things happened and we couldn't. Yeah. We have a special video. Not video. It's more like pictures of special moms in our lives. Some who are no longer with us.
Yes.
And a poem that my wife. Short poem that my wife read.
Queridas madres, les damos las gracias por cómo impactaron nuestro corazón. Gracias por sus esfuerzos y sacrificios. Gracias por los momentos felices y por los consejos llenos de sabiduría y de amor. Gracias por los años llenos de recuerdos, cumpleaños felices, navidades de villancicos y amistades para toda la vida. Gracias a las que recordamos con lágrimas, las que algún día volveremos a ver, a las que se fueron muy pronto y a las que dejaron un gran vacío en nuestro corazón. Gracias por ser parte de nuestras vidas.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It was in Spanish, but it was a beautiful poem that my wife wrote and dedicated to the moms. The last two females that were there, my grandmother Mima.
Yes, and your cousin Amy.
My cousin Amy, who passed away last year. On the 12th was her birthday. The day after Mother's Day would have been her birthday.
Okay.
So, yeah, sad that they're no longer with us, but we hope to see them one day because they both accepted Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the podcast over the last couple of years, let's say a couple of years because, the first season lasted over a year.
Right. It was long.
Yeah. It was about 40 episodes and missing a week here or there. And I hate to put you on the spot. Which are some of the episodes that stood out the most?
I have to say that the Tito Puente Jr. one I really enjoyed. I thought that was great. We're talking about first season, right?
Yeah. Season 1 first. Season 2 has been short so far. We've only had 12. These are 12 episodes. So yeah, season 1.
Yes. So definitely the Tito Puente Jr. one. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really interesting. I also oh my gosh, I forget her name. The Hawaiian.
The Royal Hawaiian. I've had her on twice. She's become a great friend. April. Whenever you watch this, I know you will. You've been a great supporter. We love you. God bless you.
Yes, I enjoyed so many. The first one was always like dear to my heart because it was the first one. With the drummer from Chicago. So that
Walfredo Reyes Jr., another who became a buddy. He's become a buddy. It's hard for me personally to pick some out, but yeah, those have been some good ones. It's funny because Tito Puente Jr. If you guys don't know who Tito Puente Jr. is, Tito Puente Jr. is the son of the
Legendary,
dude,
extraordinary,
the king of Latin music. He's the king of Latin music.
King of los timbales.
El rey de los timbales, el rey del mambo. He collaborates so much with Celia Cruz.
Azúcar.
Yeah, I mean, man. So if you haven't had it, but let me tell you, we call Tito Puente Sr. El Rey.
Right.
But let me tell you something. Tito Puente Jr. doesn't fall. The apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Right. It is amazing to see, just how he honors his father, and just, it's like when you see him play, it's like you're looking at his dad.
The passion there,
Yes,
the passion, and there, like you said, and he's so down. And Tito Puente Jr. is so down to earth. We lost Tito Puente Sr. 25 years ago,
Right.
back in 2000.
Yes.
But most of the music that you hear from the 50s to 1999, you're probably gonna hear Tito Puente Jr.
Right.
I mean Tito Puente Sr.
Senior. Yes.
His hands are in there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
Oye
probably
como va,
yeah.
Oye como va. He wrote that song in the 50s. Santana made it famous,
Mhm.
but it was written by the late great Tito Puente. So, Wilfredo Reyes Jr., that was, to me, was a dream because I'm a huge Chicago fan.
I know.
So Wilfredo Reyes Jr. may not have been the original drummer,
Right.
but he is still the drummer to this day.
Right.
And he's been the drummer. He started with the percussion, and now he's the drummer for Chicago. He's been there for a while. He's been there for many years now. And we got to see them live in 2021, a
Yes.
fulfilled dream
Yes.
of mine. And we've had a lot of great shows. Some of my friends have been with you,
Oh,
of course. I mean, you were on the show on camera with me multiple occasions, including the season finale. And that was always special to me because you with me. I don't know. It's special to me. It's special. You're my best friend. You're the love of my life, and so I know some people have enjoyed when we're together when you join me.
well, we made a great team.
We do, and you make the screen prettier. Brownie points. Yeah, I mean, so like I said, and as I remember when I first decided to do this, the original title was The Ball Guy's Opinion.
Right.
You remember that?
Yes.
And it was the first 3 episodes. It was just me. I said,
Right.
I'm just gonna. It's gonna be just talk sports, and oh my god, I was not gonna last. I was not because people were not gonna watch me. But because it was boring to me.
Right.
I said, you know what? Let me start reaching out to people. And my very first interview was with Joe Rubel from The Last American Virgin, which is a cult classic from 1983, a romantic comedy.
Right.
A little bit of raunchy, but it's a funny movie anyways. Probably the greatest soundtrack of all time,
Right.
in my opinion, with Journey and REO Speedwagon. So yeah, so we a lot of memorable episodes, and obviously a lot of firsts. Towards the end of the season, I had Phil Herman, the great Phil Herman from Indie Films.
Yeah.
And I had his whole team.
Right.
As we
Right.
remember that?
Yes, I do.
That was a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be chaotic, but it was. It was a lot of fun, And then I started this season with Phil Herman.
And I'm so excited about this season. I'm like, I really want people to just take a look. They have some exciting things on there. There's very exciting interviews. There's touch warming interviews. I mean, there are so many good things that that are in season 2 that you really have to take a look at. They're really, really good.
Yeah. And still what's left to happen. I've booked quite a few good people. Everybody that I've interviewed so far has been great, and those are still yet to come.
Right.
Are going to be great.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to end the season with Phil Herman. Okay. Andrew, and Carissa.
Oh,
You know, so we're it's in the works, but we're planning to actually be the last episode of the season. Okay, and we will end it with the 80th episode of the show so far. That'll be the end of the season. It'll probably be for October, early November, the latest. So yeah, so again, it's been a fun ride so far. Also, one of my most touching episodes, a 2-part episode, was Hector Guerrero, the brother of the late Eddie Guerrero. And if you don't know who they are, Eddie Guerrero is the Guerrero family is a three generations. They're 3 generations deep from wrestling history. One of the greatest families in wrestling history, starting with the late great Gory Guerrero. That's their father, Eddie, and Eddie passed away in 2005. So hearing Hector talk about his dad, about his brother, was very emotional. Yeah, he, and so that was such a long conversation. We had to break it down into 2 episodes. Wow. It was a 4-hour conversation, and I am a story listener. I love stories.
Me too. Guilty.
I love stories. As a matter of fact, we got to get Dean Stoner, brother. Dean Stoner will be a great storyteller with everything he's a former cop, sniper.
Yes.
He was in the whole thing with Pablo Escobar.
Yes.
Bro.
Wait, is he even allowed to tell?
Well,
There's like some secret mission that he was on.
He's no longer part of it, so he's retired, long since retired. So, but it'll be cool to have him in and tell the stories that he can. He's such a good storyteller. So again, I love stories, and I love hearing people talk.
Me too.
Yeah. So another first for my life earlier this year, which was one of my favorite episodes, was having Michael W. Green.
Right.
DFW, a guy who's turning DFW into the next Hollywood. Guys, Dallas, Texas is the next Hollywood.
It's popping right now.
It's popping. It's a lot of most of the movies, they are indie films.
Right.
But it is constantly, somebody's always coming up with a new film. And Michael W. Green, if you haven't checked out his films, you got to check them out. Same thing with Phil Herman. I'm going to share their information in the description.
Right.
But last year, I remember interviewing Michael, and I told him, hey, my wife and I have always wanted to be extra. Maybe in a cafe,
in the background, the person you see walking by,
having some coffee. And you go, well, did you see? I'm working on a Christmas comedy, right here on your show. I'm going to ask you. You can say yes or no.
Right.
If do you want to be in the film?
That's
right. I go, bro, don't mess with me, bro. Don't play with my emotions, bro. No, I'm serious. And I say, yeah.
But it wasn't easy. He still had to audition for it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. And I auditioned. I remember walking into the audition. I was like the second guy. I was the first one parked in the parking lot. I wasn't sure if I was in the right place.
Okay.
I was the very first one there. And I see somebody else park. I see another person park, and they start getting out. I go, okay, I'm assuming it's here. So I go upstairs, and then eventually more people start showing up. You go, well, who's been the first person here, second person? So we make a line. I was like the third person in line.
Okay.
And then they have us go to another area, and then I see Pete Pena. I said, oh, great. This guy's going for the same role I am. I don't see any other role here for a Latino, I don't think. So I asked him, hey, Pete, what are you going for? And he goes, Enrique the Mailman. Oh, okay, cool, man. Me too. Okay, deep down, I say, oh man, I'm not gonna get it. Oh man, Pete Pena is a very talented actor. We met him.
Yes,
we saw him.
Yes.
We went to one of his premieres called Night Deals. You got to check it out. I think it's out.
It was funny. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked
yeah.
it. Great cast.
Yeah, great cast for Night Deals. But I go, and then they call me in for my audition. I walk into a room, and Michael has become a good buddy of mine, but I never met him in person. So we see each other, we hug each other, but I walk in and I freak out. There's I lost count how many people were in there, but I think there were at least 7 or 8 people sitting down.
Yikes.
Producers, directors, and they're casting people.
Right.
Okay, JC, you ready? Deep down south, I said no, but I was ready. I have my paper, I have my what I had to read, and I got out of my head. I go, you know what? Don't pay attention to them. Imagine the person you're talking to right there. I got on the X, and he started recording with the lights on, and they loved it. I heard once I heard them laugh. Once I heard the people laugh, I had to. I wasn't asked to dance, but I went ahead and I danced.
Look at you.
Which I don't know how to dance. I guess that's what made it even funnier. Yo también sé bailar un poquito, mami. It was they
improvised. You did a great job.
And then that was exciting. So I'm Enrique the Mailman at a Christmas comedy called Jiggle My Bells.
Right. And it was so exciting to see your name called out. We were sitting here as a family. They had a whole it was a podcast
on TV, on YouTube.
And they were calling out the names of the characters and who had been casted for that slot. So when I knew it was his when he was like for Enrique Cartero. He went like this way. He went like that. I was like, oh, that's JC. And he said JC, and we were all like, ah. So we're very proud of you, babe.
Thank you.
You did that. I'm
excited.
A lot of guts.
I'm excited. I'm very excited about the film. And Michael keeps encouraging me. He keeps telling me he's really looking forward to my character. He said my character will be very, very funny. I am a guy who thinks he's a ladies' man. Which is gonna be the funny thing. It's gonna be hilarious. I can only imagine what he's gonna have me do, and it's gonna be a supporting role. So but yeah, I'm excited. That was a first for me. I've never auditioned other than a play at church. 2 plays. Remember, I was in 2 plays.
Yeah.
One was one of the 12 disciples with Zach. Remember? Zach was one of the disciples with me, and then the other one, the following year, was one of the guards.
Yeah.
One of the Roman guards for that were hanging Jesus. And we've been looking at YouTube a lot lately. Moving on, we've been looking at a lot of YouTube lately. Yes. A lot of videos are popping up. A lot of nostalgia.
Yes, a lot of nostalgia. A lot of just back in the day stuff that you just like. It takes you back to those days, and those
when we were kids, 80s.
Yeah, you're like a kid, teenager, and so yeah, we have been watching a lot of videos.
And some of the difference to me, the 80s were probably the best time when it came to music and movies.
I think
that's my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I was thinking the other day. I was thinking how when JC and I first went out, we went to Olive Garden, and that was our first date. We went to Olive Garden. And I remember JC sitting across the table from me, and
don't tell me. Don't.
And he sat there and he said to me, "Hey, if you want to be with me, you gotta like the music I like,
that's JC Enrique the ladies man, Enrique the mailman, the ladies man. That's me,
very
guys.
Smooth given, very smooth given. So it was like, you want to be with me, you gotta like the music that I like, and this. Well, he didn't know this, but I'm not really a heavy music person.
And I am.
I met him. He took me back. He showed me new bands, new groups, new music that I had never before heard.
We're saying they were not new because they were freestyle bands.
But they were new to me. Some of them were new to me. Some of them I knew. Some of them I didn't. I didn't know about Journey, Chicago. I didn't know any of that. That I learned that from you. So I wasn't that girl that was into music, but I definitely have grown to love it as much as he does. So I think that's amazing. So I do. I do like the music you like.
25 years later, hey,
I was there. I was like, yeah, definitely. I do. We share a lot of love for a lot of things.
yeah. And the funny thing is, I've had the privilege of interviewing a lot of freestyle artists. I've had Edie.
Edie, I love Edie. That was another episode that I liked for season
She
1.
was so awesome. She was so sweet. She's a sweetheart. She's amazing. Edie's amazing. I've had NV. I've had a whole bunch of people on. And I'm blessed. I'm very close to having Suave. Suave is crying over. She doesn't know names. She doesn't know songs. I had to sing it for her. So please forget. You want to lower the volume a little bit? That's okay. I'm gonna crack your screen. It's crying over you. That's why I'm crying.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Suave. Yeah. Him and me have been. We haven't been able to get the. It's funny because that reminds me of Tito Puente Jr. You remember how long it took? I was supposed to record him.
Right.
In December of 2023, and either he couldn't get or I couldn't get our schedules together. Luckily we got to see him here in Dallas.
Right.
We got to see him here in Dallas when he flew to Dallas. I hit him up. Hey, I see you flying to Dallas, man. That's where I live. They come out to the show. You and I went to the show. We had a nice date.
Yeah.
We bought his Tito Puente Jr. hot sauces.
Yes.
Guys, you gotta check out his hot sauces. I love his. I'm not a hot sauce fan. I'm not huge on hot sauces, but these were very flavorful.
Yes. And you finish them all up and we have to order more.
Yes. They are amazing. They go with everything. They go with soup, chili, arroz. They go good with rice and everything. So
with everything.
Yeah. So you go to the website, it's Tito Puente Jr. Hot.com. That information will be on the description as well. And you get 4 hot sauces and you get a CD, which we have. Right. I don't know if he's still doing his autographed picture, maybe. And as a matter of fact, you can also order from that site his dad's shirt, a Mambo King shirt, which is amazing. But going back to the YouTube videos, they've been showing a lot of aging folks, like from people that we grew up watching, and some who have passed. We've seen a lot of folks pass that we grew up watching.
Yes.
And it only means one thing. We're getting older. I'm knocking on the door. I'm 50. I'm turning 49 this year. I don't want to say the age. Do we say the age? She's 46. Yeah, she looks good for 46.
I do not approve the age.
I'm sorry. Edit. But it only means that we're only getting older, and because it's sad to see a lot of these folks die. It's because I know one of the ones that hit you the most. I mean, it was sad for me, but one of the ones that hit you the most was Chandler Bang. From Friends.
My God. That to me was I felt like I lost someone that I knew.
A friend. We lost a friend.
I was like, I mean, like and not just that. Facebook was inundated with remembering Matthew Perry, Chandler. It was just and it lasted for months.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like it didn't just it was there one day and then it was gone the next 2 days. No, it lasted for a long time.
It was again because we've been talking about. I mentioned the people that have been dying because of old age. He was not old.
No,
he was what, in the late 50s? Yeah, late 50s? I mean, so it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And yet, again, but that was a hard hit. Seeing these folks that were on screen that came into our living rooms, getting older or dying,
right,
it's sad. But yeah, But let's remember some of these things that we've been watching, and from back in the day, the landline phones with cords.
Phones. Which one? The ting ting or the?
Well, both. But we had both. I mean,
Yeah.
Not us as married. We had when we got married was we had our cell
The
phones.
cordless.
Phone. We had the cordless phone. But as kids, I'm sure you had at your home the rotary phone, which is the.
You know,
Damn, I messed up. You gotta hang up and redo it again.
at our house, we did not have.
Oh no, I did. Well, my grandmother did.
We had the push button one.
Yeah, my grandmother did, Mima. But at my house, yeah, we had the touch tone, the cord you could walk from here to 30 feet. And
But you did that with the payphones though. The payphones did have there were some payphones in New Jersey that still had and you had to
No, here also. I say here. I'm originally from Florida. But in Florida, we did too, and then eventually went to touch tone. How about VHS and beta tapes? Did you ever have any beta tapes? For those that don't know, for those younger people out there that are going to be watching this, VHS tapes, I'm sure you guys do know, they're the cassette tapes that go into VCR.
Mm-hmm.
Beta tapes were smaller. They didn't last long. Mm-hmm. And those are actually the ones that people use for camcorder.
Right, for the camcorders.
We still not see it. And you had to wait till you get home to put the beta either in a beta player or use an attachment.
Yeah, it was and you would put it in there.
Yeah, and you put it in a cassette tape and VHS cassette and play that.
Right.
How about a Sony Walkman, a Sony Discman? Did you have that?
Oh, you had to have your Walkman. I had a Walkman.
Me too. I had both. The Discman wasn't very good. It would constantly, if you just tap it, it'll skip.
Yeah, no, those are not good at all.
Beepers and pagers.
Oh my goodness! I remember. I went to buy my first beeper with my cousin Diego. He took me to go buy my first beeper.
Back when, did you have to pay monthly back then for when you had your beeper?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it was like what, $14.99.
Yeah,
they went to it down to
really
$9.99 a month.
It was really cheap, yeah.
Did you ever have the pages that you could interchange the colors? No, I did. I had those. Eventually, I had the old school black ones. Then once they came out with the cooler see-through that you could interchange colors.
Yeah, no.
I had that one. I remember my brother had the big brick phone for the cell phones.
The brick phone.
Oh my God, the brick phone. You could run that over with a truck.
And it wouldn't break.
You throw it, use it as a weapon.
I had the flip one, the one that used to flip. I used to have the flip one, which I hardly ever used.
No, because there weren't unlimited calls back then.
Right.
Back in the 90s.
I used to keep it in the glove compartment of my car.
Oh, so it was for emergencies.
Yeah.
I was one of those idiots who used to carry my cell phone so I could look cool.
Oh, the ladies' man.
Yeah. But back then it was analog. It wasn't digital. It was analog, and it was no unlimited calls. Every phone, unless it was on the weekend. You had the weekend special. And I remember the bill could come to easily for one phone, could easily come to $100 if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Our curfew back in the day was street lights.
Yep. As soon as they went up.
That was our alarm. And if if your mom was calling you, you were late.
Well, you know what? I do remember that during the summer, because there was no school, you would stay out a little later. We used to catch fireflies. I remember me and Helena, we used to catch little flower flies.
That must have been a Jersey thing.
It must have been a Jersey thing. We used to catch them and then look at the light and,
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cute.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's cute. There was no on-demand streaming. If you missed the show,
you missed it.
You have to wait until next week, or your friend at school tell you what happened on the show.
And you had to get that TV guide so that you could see what was coming up.
Or to go to the movies. Hello, welcome to Movie Phone.
Yep, that's right.
Or
the newspaper. You would have to
newspaper was awesome, and
you have to get the newspaper to see what movies were and in what theater. That's what you had to do.
Oh my God, I remember that. But I remember as a kid, the Snoopy specials. Whether it was Halloween, Christmas,
Thanksgiving,
the Thanksgiving special. If I missed that, I was upset. That was, And the cool thing was that it wasn't on Christmas Day. It wasn't on Thanksgiving Day. It
No.
wasn't on Halloween night. It was the week of or the week before. That was cool. You know, speaking of Christmas special,
No.
the cartoons, the stop motion cartoons. Why? Those are so awesome.
They're creepy. They are super creepy. Oh.
Let us know who out there found those creepy also. I used to love them.
They look like possessed. They look like possessed dolls. That's what they look like.
My cousin Amy used to come. My cousin Amy, when she used to live upstairs from me, my late cousin Amy, she used to come downstairs to my house, and we used to watch them together. You know, and my cousin Amy was my childhood best friend. You know, she was my sister. You know, so I remember I used to love those cartoons, and the boys liked those cartoons. At least Zach does. I'm not 100% about Jake. But yeah, and how about recording that music on a cassette?
Man, you would sit in front of that. You had your little recorder.
The boombox.
The boombox. If you had a boombox, or if you had the pink one, the way I had it, I had the pink little. And you would put on your station, your favorite station, and you would sit there. And as soon as your song came up, boop, you would press record. And then you had to watch out towards the end because
that the dumb DJ wouldn't speak.
Towards
the last seconds.
Towards the last seconds of you would have to be there with your finger ready to go, so that.
Or sometimes at the beginning of the song, also. Well, next we have Martika with Toy Soldier. You know, number one song. You remember Martika, Toy Soldier?
Yes.
She disappeared. Speaking of, I've been trying to reach her, trying to find her, and see if I can get her. I've been wanting to get some old. So if any of you know where Martika is, her name is actually Marta Marrero. I think is her real name. Yeah. I would love to have her on the show. I like old school people. Not counting her old, just how about internet when it first started? I mean, remember the dial-up? You could go take a shower, have dinner, and you still the internet was still turning on.
And God forbid someone
picked up the phone while I was turning on.
No.
Start all over.
All over again.
Well, you have to announce it. Do not pick up the phone, folks. Do not pick up the phone. You know, God bless. Thank God for wireless and for the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I was talking about this with a friend of mine who is actually going to be on your show next week, and we were talking about how nowadays it's like you can't live without technology.
You can't.
I mean, you can't live without technology. We were talking about that how just nowadays you just can't live without technology.
Which technology can be a blessing, at the same time it can be because AI.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, because AI, for example, AI guys, be careful with AI, especially if you have old folks in your lives, like a mom, a grandmother who's in the older age. And I spoke to my mom about it a couple of weeks ago. My mom didn't know about this. So this has been going on for a couple of years now. Because of AI, they can pick up my voice now or your voice.
Right.
Okay. They can pick it up because of YouTube now. They can record my voice and call my mom.
Yeah.
Yo, hola, mami. Necesito dinero. I need money. Yo, mijo, ¿qué pasó? Yo, sí, tranquilo. ¿A dónde te lo mando? So I told her, Mom, if you ever hear my voice calling you asking for money, yo te lo mando ahora. You hang up and you call me to confirm that I asked you for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or because that's usually what it is. It's usually for money or something like that. As a matter of fact, didn't it happen to didn't your uncle, somebody call your uncle, pretend to be your stepdad?
Yes.
John?
Yes. And it,
thank God it clicked that to call your mom.
My mom right away, and she was like, "No, he's
here in the States. He's not in Colombia."
Yeah, just watch out.
Be very careful.
The same way, AI is good for so many things. There's always evil out there. That there's always people that are greedy and just find the easy way to try to get money for themselves to make themselves richer, not thinking of the harm that they're causing other people. Be on the aware.
Yeah. Let's talk about the top 20. I looked up a couple of things because again, we love music, we love movies, and I looked up the top 20 rock bands of all time.
All right.
I don't necessarily agree with the list.
So it's not your.
No, this is not JC's top 20.
This is not JC's top 20.
This
bands.
is
Okay.
this is the top 20. What was it? I think it was Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones magazine's top 20, or I forgot what other list it was from.
Okay.
But it's not JC's top 20 because I will not mention some of these bands. Not that they're not good bands. It's just that they're not JC's top 20.
Okay.
So in fact, on here are 2 bands that I would stick in here,
Okay.
and they're not on here,
I see.
and
that.
I'm upset.
I know. I know you are. But you know what? You should make your top 20 bands.
I will. Number 20, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
It belongs there. He belongs there. Why? As a matter of fact, one of my favorite bands of all time is Chicago. You know that.
Yes.
I mentioned it. Chicago's my all-time favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As a matter of fact, my childhood buddy of mine and I were talking about that the other day, Ray, and he remembered he used to hang out in my house or hang out in the in the park and stuff with the radio, and we used to be rocking to Chicago. I know a lot of people think, "Oh, Chicago from the '80s." No, not Chicago from the '80s. Chicago from the '70s. Jimi Hendrix once heard Chicago play, and he said, "Oh my God, the horn section sounds like a whole set of lungs on its own, and the guitarist, the late Terry Kath, is better than me." What a compliment! And man, Terry Kath was a badass guitar player. You gotta listen to the solo 25 or 624. And Chicago's not on this list. My list, they will be in there. Number 19, Yes. You don't know who Yes is? No. Yes. Owner of again, guys, owner of a lonely heart.
Okay, yes.
That's them. But that song came a lot later.
Okay.
They were very famous in the 70s and stuff.
Okay.
The Eagles, Hotel California.
Yes.
Okay. Aerosmith is on there, number 17.
I know Aerosmith, and I agree with that.
The Eagles, Aerosmith, I wouldn't put Yes in the top 20 for me, but the Eagles, Aerosmith, absolutely. Kiss, number 16, absolutely. I had the privilege of seeing Kiss when the original four got reunited back in the 90s.
Okay.
I got to see them before they broke up again. Number 15, Van Halen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A bunch of crybabies, but yes. Sorry. Yeah. The late great Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen, the drummer, they're a great band, and I like every version of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like every version of them. Def Leppard definitely belongs there.
Right.
So if I put Def Leppard in the top 5,
Oh,
that's me. I'll put Def
Okay.
Leppard in the top 5.
okay.
And Def Leppard, as a matter of fact, for those that don't know, the drummer only has one arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He got into an car accident. They lost his arm. They reattached his arm. They got infected, so they had to
Ooh.
amputate it again. He only plays with one arm, and he learned how to play with one arm. And they became a great band because of that.
Love the instrument.
Number 13, The Who, great band. Yeah, I wouldn't put him that high in the list. I'll probably put him, but yeah, they definitely belong in the top 20. GNR, totally disagree.
Guns N' Roses?
Yes.
Really?
Come on, babe. Listen, they have they have songs that belong to the top 20.
Okay.
But as a band, come on, out of every album, you know what makes a band great, to my opinion?
Mm-hmm.
If out of 10 songs in an album, 8 or 9 of them are great. Out of each of their albums, 1 or 2 songs are good in each album.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can name 5 songs for you, I like. Sweet Child of Mine.
Yes.
Paradise City.
Yes.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes.
Don't Cry.
Yes.
November Rain.
Yes.
And the song, 6, and the one from Terminator 2.
Okay.
6 songs. That's it. You guys might disagree with me. Doesn't matter. It's my show. Deep Purple, great band. But again, they had a couple of songs of theirs that I like. I'm not a huge fan. Deep Purple, Smoke in the Water. Smoke it. Okay, no, never mind. Iron Maiden, not a fan. They belong to top. They're number 10. A lot of people they were very popular. That's not JC's top 10. I'm not an Iron Maiden fan. Metallica, yes. Top 10 for sure. Top 10. The Rolling Stones. I will put them in the top 20 because of their impact.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge fan either.
Okay.
I like just a few of the songs.
Okay.
Black Sabbath. Nah, not JC. They're number 7. Number 6, the Beatles. The Beatles, the only reason why I would put them in the top 20 is the impact that they have.
Okay.
The influence.
Okay.
They influenced Aerosmith. They influenced Kiss. They influenced the Eagles. They were influential for a lot of these bands that we love today. AC/DC. They were good. I guess I could put them in the top 20, but not top 5. Number 4, Pink Floyd. Yeah.
Sing me a song.
Oh my God. We don't need no education.
Yes.
And I mean, that entire album, The Wall, that entire album is awesome.
Okay.
Number 3, Rush. I only like Tom Sawyer. It's the only song that I really like. Number 2, Queen. Definitely.
Yes.
That man, great voice. The guitarist, amazing. And number 1, Led Zeppelin. Again, I would rearrange some of these. You know who's
and
missing?
Take some people out. Put some people
Absolutely.
in.
You know who's missing? Journey. Come on.
Yes.
You know who's missing? Genesis. Phil Collins.
Yes.
Phil Collins. You know, he was with Genesis.
But Phil Collins is considered rock?
Genesis is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not Phil Collins is considered soft rock. Genesis was considered more rock.
Okay.
Especially in the 70s. And of course, Chicago. You know, you don't sell hundreds of millions of records and not be considered. But again, they lost, I guess, some respect after the death of Terry Kath. But in the 70s, they were the best. I mean, in my opinion, the best band. So let's talk about the top 20 movies of all time. Again, this is not JC and Claudia's top 20. The top 20, I got this online. I believe this IMDb's Internet Movie Database top 20.
Okay, let's go.
Number 27.
Good movie.
No, amazing movie.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. He was 70s, great film.
Yes.
Awesome. Interstellar. No idea what movie that is.
Me neither. I was gonna say I don't recall that movie.
I have no idea. So we're not even gonna talk about them. Goodfellas.
Good movie.
Hell yeah. Top. In my opinion, JC's top opinion, top 10.
Okay.
Top 10.
The Matrix. I love The Matrix.
The Matrix, of course. Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. I enjoyed the first 3 original movies. After that, not a fan. And I enjoyed it as a kid. I even had toys from Star Wars. As I got older, I got out of those kind of movies. So I can say it wouldn't be in JC's top 20.
I'm not a really Star fan.
Yeah. Inception. Sounds familiar, but
Wait, you
no, 15. That goes to
oh, okay.
part 5. Remember the first 3 movies, the first 3 original movies.
Okay.
It's part 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, gotcha.
Empire Strikes Back is the second movie ever.
Inception?
Part 14. Sounds familiar. I think that was by Jack, the guy, I forgot who it is. DiCaprio. I think DiCaprio's in that film. Fight Club. Never really seen it. Nunca me llamó la atención. Fight Club. That's what you know what movie that is, right?
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings. Never saw them. This was the 2 Towers. This is the Lord of the Rings, the 2 Towers. That's number 12. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, definitely top 20.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I might move a little higher. The 10, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by Clint Eastwood. That's one of the westerns. It's a western. I know you're not a huge western fan. I love.
I've never been able to like western movies.
I hated it as a kid. I didn't like it. Same thing with music. It's funny. It's amazing. As you get older, you appreciate certain movies, certain music. Like, for example, I hated the Afro-Cuban music. Like Benny Moré. I wasn't a fan of Celia Cruz.
No, I grew up hearing that music. I loved it.
I grew up listening to. I didn't like it.
I loved. I grew up listening to salsa, merengue. You know, it was just. That's what I grew up listening to the most.
Well, Benny Moré wasn't salsa. Benny Moré was more romantic, soft music.
No, yeah, I was just.
Oh,
I
no,
was
no,
just,
yeah.
I was just explaining that.
Oh no, and I
That's
enjoy.
what I enjoyed.
I enjoyed. No, I someone enjoyed that too. Don't get me wrong, but like the old music, like from back in. I mean, Betty Moret died in the 50s or 60s for crying out loud. That's how old that song, that music is. But now I appreciate it. Same thing with cowboy movies. My all-time favorite, as a matter of fact, The Good, the Bad, and Ugly is good. My favorite is Hang 'Em High by Clint Eastwood. That is a revenge, and they try a whole bunch of guys try to kill him, and he gets marshaled. And he gets marshaled. They give him and he goes after each and every single one of them.
All right.
Great movie. Number 9, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Again, Number 8, Pulp Fiction. A lot of people are gonna kill me for this. I know a lot of you love Pulp Fiction. Not a fan.
I don't get it.
Love John Travolta.
No.
You don't like John Travolta?
Listen, I like John Travolta from Grease. I like John Travolta from Look Who's Talking.
Oh man, you never saw the one with him and
I definitely
Vaughn?
do not like him from Pulp Fiction.
No, that's not our taste. Schindler's List is considered one of the greatest movies of all time. It's number 7. Never seen it. I've seen
Me
clips.
neither. I've never seen
but
it either.
Zach has even seen it, and he says it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Again, here we go again. The third time on this list, on the top 20, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Come on, man. I mean, again, you guys enlighten me. What's so good about these movies? And don't get me wrong, and the cast is amazing.
Oh yeah, great actors.
Number 5, 12 Angry Men. Love it. It definitely belongs to the top 5.
Good movie.
I could never stop watching. I never get tired of that movie. And a great cast as well.
Mhm.
Number 4, The Godfather Part 2. Great film.
Yeah.
Belongs to the top 5.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight. Great film. My favorite Batman happens to be Keaton. Michael Keaton. My favorite Joker happens to be Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
Those are my favorites. But The Dark Knight, great film though. Number 2, The Godfather. And number 1, The Shawshank Redemption. Again, they're not my top 20. I would have changed some stuff around. Remove some of these movies.
Well, I think you should do a top 20 for both bands and movies.
I think we should both
your
do it.
own personal.
Yeah, we'll put our own little twist on it. Who's your all-time favorite superhero?
Batman. Duh.
Okay, mine is Superman. I've always liked Batman. Growing up, these were my favorites: Superman,
Okay.
the Hulk,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
I also like the Captain America. I love Captain America because
Okay.
of what he stood for.
Okay.
And also I enjoyed Batman as well. I love Batman as well. I used to love watching the one back in the 60s. Obviously, growing up, I was watching reruns. I enjoyed Batman and Robin, that series with Adam West.
Mine is Batman, Superman, Wolverine, Rogue. I had to think for X-Men. Rogue, and of course Superwoman.
You mean Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman, sorry.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. I used to love Wonder Woman, the show with Linda Carter. Wonder Woman. Speaking of, let's talk about your thoughts, and we'll probably wrap up with this. What are your thoughts? Even though I know for a lot of people it's already old news, but it's still going around. You still can't get away from her. Rachel Zegler and the Snow White fiasco. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that whole thing was whoever casted these people made a big boo boo.
It was Disney. It was Disney.
It was a big boo boo. Because I mean, the stepmother is 10 times more beautiful than what they put as Snow White.
Rachel Zegler is not ugly. They made her ugly. To be honest, they made her ugly. I don't think she's ugly. I think she's cute.
But
She's
when
not
you
pretty,
okay,
she's not beautiful.
but let's
she's
talk
cute.
about this. Snow White was the evil stepmother, was jealous
The evil stepmother, yeah.
of Snow White's beauty.
In this film, there's nothing to be jealous about.
There's absolutely nothing to be. I am so sorry. She is. I'm sure she's beautiful in her way, but putting her up against
Gal Gadot, she's very pretty.
this was not like a good, it was not like a good balance there. It just wasn't.
It was. I agree.
Was nothing. And then, and then she was just.
She's not a good person.
I don't know her personally, so I can't say she's not a good person.
All
I'm saying is that
from what we've seen,
she did not portray herself as a very smart, intelligent, good person. She did not. I think she said a lot of things that perhaps she should have filtered a little bit. I think that but she's young.
she's only 23 or 23, 24. Yeah, she's very young. A lot of people think that that's it. Her career is over. I don't think so. She's very talented. Okay,
she can sing.
Beautiful voice. Yeah, that's right. Beautiful. We've heard her sing. Beautiful voice. I think she will eventually bounce back. I think, and I hope so. I hope she does bounce back. I don't wish ill on anybody, even though all the crap she spoke about Trump supporters. We don't talk politics here. We don't talk politics. That's the only thing we've kept out of this show is politics. But we'll talk about it for now, for real quick. You don't say the things she says, and before your film even comes out, because people are going to not watch you. I think the only people I've watched her film are little kids with, Mommy, I want to go see Snow White. And I guess they go see it, and parents say, what the hell did we just watch? But, because it has a 1.7 out of 10 rating in IMDb.
This was a big goof for Disney.
Here's another little. The film cost $410 million and only made back $195 million in the box office worldwide. It's lost over $200 million worldwide. It's been pulled out of theaters already. Oh, right. Most theaters. I think only a few theaters still have it. But going back to the politics, she said back in November, if you are a Trump supporter, I don't wish peace on you. And as a matter of fact, do not support me.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You know how many people voted for Trump?
Yeah, that's
a lot of people are not going to go watch you, sweetheart.
Yeah, a lot of
And the fact that she's not humble about it and she doesn't apologize, and dude, even to salvage your career, salvage the movie. I apologize. Her apology wasn't. I don't think she really apologized for number one, and if she did, I think it wasn't heartfelt. I believe it wasn't sincere.
But
it is what it is. I do wish her the best. Don't get me. I'm not gonna go see her film.
No,
I personally,
I'm not gonna go see Snow White.
And another thing, the elves, they could have gotten a lot of good actors to play the 12 elves. I mean, the 7 dwarfs.
I think so too.
Not elves, sorry, the dwarves, 7 dwarfs.
I think they could have gotten some good actors out there that would have auditioned for that spot. But I guess I don't know if they did it to try to save on money or what their thought was. But in any case, Disney
goofed. And that's right. They goofed with that because she does not look like Snow White at all. And they goofed also with
the only movie that I have seen that they have brought out that I'm like, oh, I want to go see that movie is Lilo and Stitch. That's the only one that I'm like, oh, I want to go see.
And now I'm not a big Disney fan anymore, but yeah, that's a good. That looks like a cute movie. Folks, thank you so much for watching. God bless you guys. Love you guys. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Anything else you want to add, babe?
No. See you next time.